Yo, guys, what's going on? How's everyone doing? Do you see that? It's Arsenal. We're at the top of the league still. And you know what guys said to me after week 1? Oh, it's not going to last long. You know what they said to me after week 2? Oh, it's not going to last long. They said the same thing every single week. Oh, when you're about to play Tottenham, now you're going to finally get humbled. Oh, now when you face Liverpool, now you're finally going to get dropped off. Guess what happened? Back-to-back wins. First Tottenham, Liverpool, still top of the league. Arsenal have played 9 games now. 10 goals conceded. 23 goals. It's absolutely mad. We currently have a 14-point gap between us and Liverpool. Liverpool are 10th. Then you also have Tottenham who won their game. You have Manchester United who won their game. Chelsea who won their game. It seems like everyone won their game this weekend except for Liverpool. I wonder why. Oh, we know why. Anyways, let's get this show started. What's Kaz doing here? The hell? Anyways, let's get this show started. Big up, guys. How you guys doing?
A bit better than Rom's, I think. I think I'm doing better than Rom.
Yeah, good, man. Life goes well until I have to think and watch that book. We'll chop into it, but big up, everyone.
How are you, Rob? You know, talk to us. You know, you seem down. What's going on?
I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this. The last 4 or 5 years, I've not been used to this. I forgot what it feels like to be in it. I hate it here. I actually hate it here. And I don't think it's getting better anytime soon.
Bro, you know the good thing is Henderson might be actually finished now after this incident.
Oh, he might be. He might be now.
What incident?
Bro, apparently, the FA are investigating what Henderson might have said to Gabriel.
Yeah, we don't know exactly what he said or what the origin of it was, but
it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. From when he had to speak to Klopp and Arteta, and that this channel expressed it is alleged. There's nothing confirmed yet. But if it is what the general consensus is, it will be very, very hypocritical for him because he's done a lot of campaigns. He's done a lot of campaigns for what it could be.
Yeah, and the reactions from the players were not great as well. They weren't great.
And his status within the club, he's been our captain. He is our captain. So
I was
Let me read what it says. The FA are investigating the comments made by Jordan Henderson towards Gabriel magalgahes in today's game. That is one thing that I read. Another thing that I read, a little bit more detailed from a journalist, saying FA spokesperson are aware of the incident that took place during the match between Arsenal and Liverpool. We are in dialogue with the match officials and we'll review details of the incident. The FA will clarify the details. Won't clarify the details this stage. That is what is being said. So
spooky, very spooky.
It's not sounding good, man.
It's not looking good. Big up Gunnar Souls in the house. Big up Gunnar Souls. I don't think. You know what? We can't assume these things.
Yeah,
so let's not get into that. First, the reason why I wanted to address it first is to get it out of the way, to make sure we spoke about it, and now we can move on to the more pressing matters.
If Ron said he's not used to this situation, would you like me to find some Bournemouth and Fulham fans for you to get used to?
Bournemouth are ahead of them in the league, bro.
They're ahead of us.
Your level, that's where you're at.
All three newly promoted teams, I believe, are ahead of us, or 2 out of the 3. I think Forest are the only ones are below us. It's a joke. It's a joke.
So what are you saying? What are you really saying now? Like, how do you feel overall about the incident, about today's game?
Because I can't lie to you, Ron. Like early doors when you guys are struggling, it looks stupid for any City fan to ever say Klopp out. Like it was something crazy. But the whirlwind that's going on now is very spooky, bro.
Day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour, the Klopp for me, I'm still not Klopp out. I'm just Klopp
rightly so.
But it's growing within the families. And today, you could argue he's been losing the plot most of the season, but I think he's at the end of his tether from when he put Jordan Henderson right wing to try and create something. What are you doing?
That was so spooky.
You take Jota. Salah's been poor, and Jota was one of our better players. But for me, he accepted the draw. When I saw them negative changes, I knew he no longer wanted to go for the win. He was accepting a draw or just to hold, you know what I mean, to hold on. And you don't associate that with us. You just don't. The last 3-4 years, you just don't. But we're in the here and now. And I've tried. I come in here about a month ago and I said, Liverpool fans, strap in. it could be a bumpy ride. I was like, oh, you can't say this too early. It's negative, but I can only go off what I'm seeing. There's no evidence to suggest anything else. I can only go off what I'm seeing, and this hurts, but I don't even know if it's a top 4 battle now. It might even be top 6. Honestly, it might even be top 6. And that's not me exaggerating it. We just have to be real now.
Yeah, no, realistically.
I know you're loving this as well, United fan. But,
of course we're loving it. Of course we're loving it, bro.
You have to be honest. And I'm not, in my head, we're not 14 points over Arsenal. We're 17 because we've got that robot and Man City coming to our place. Van Dijk will get his first home loss. Haaland will get a minimum of brace. We're 17 points behind Arsenal. I know people use the cliche stuff. Anything can happen in football. Come on, like they will beat us next Sunday. And then Arsenal goes 7. Last season, we ended the season 23 points above them. That was only a couple months ago. Now, 9-10 games in, we're going to be 17 points behind that. This is crazy. This is actually crazy. And a lot of fans will criticize FSG, rightly so, but not for this window, because I don't even know if you three know this, but Klopp was given funds by FSG. He was just stubborn. He waited for Bellingham. That's not going to come to us now anyway. So he shot himself.
Do you reckon he's still not going to come next year, Bellingham?
No, I don't, because I think Bellingham's always spoke about coming to the Premier League. He had an interview the other day. He doesn't care about money, whatnot. He wants to make memories. He wants to become a legend in the game. You can do that quicker at Madrid than you can at us. And I believe even if he comes to England, we're not his first recruit. Our fan base have this general consensus that we're favourites. No, we're not, especially if we don't get top 4. But I think he will be a Madrid player. And this is where Klopp's stubbornness has been to our detriment, because you held out for Bellingham when you could have probably got 2-3 midfielders with the funds FSG gave him this summer. Because he wanted to be stubborn now, thought it was a certainty. It's not a certainty. He now comes. We're pissed. We're actually pissed because Hendo today, you could see he was reading danger, but his body's not allowing him to do it anymore. He just doesn't have the legs. Thiago, he's going to get, and I don't touch with this happens, but it's inevitable. He might get injured in the next week or 2 because, and with him without the team, we're just a completely different outfit. Diaz, he was pictured with crutches leaving the Emirates. He was probably our best player today. He was our shining light. He was the, if you thought anything would happen, it would be through him. It doesn't look good when you're on crutches and you've got a brace around your knee. Luckily, he's not going to the World Cup anyway. Colombia didn't qualify, but that's looking for a new. To me, that looks like a New Year return. I think he's going to be out for some time. And you see who we have to replace him on that side. Not much. Carvalho, Elliott's still young. Jota's not as effective on the left. We already had problems, and today we've just had a whole nother 4 or 5 problems adding on top of it. It's worrying. It is.
What did you feel at 2-2? What did you feel at 2-2? How did you feel? I
said in my group chats, we would still lose this game because how we were playing, it wasn't sustainable. They kept hitting us on the counter, and they looked more potent. Every time Martinelli, Jesus, Odegaard, and Saka got the ball, they just look like they might score. And one thing I want to say as well, Liverpool fans need to stop these excuses. We didn't deserve a penalty. We didn't. It was so Harvey Elliott kind of threw himself to the ground. And for me, I know we've seen it given, but it was a bit too there was too much close proximity when it hit Gabriel's hand. It was too close, but we have seen it given because the natural silhouette, his body wasn't in a natural silhouette apparently.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a penalty. Liverpool fans will say it is. Other fan bases have actually been saying it is as well. So it's not really.
From my perspective, it's been given in the Premier League before, but every time it's been given in the Premier League.
So I'm just saying I would have complained if that happened against me.
So for me, in regards to the decisions, the Harvey Elliott one at the end of the game was not a penalty.
No way. Yeah.
He's looked for it. He's put his leg out. He's expected to touch that really hasn't come. He's gone down. It's not a penalty. That one for me, I called it in real time. If his arms by side or in front, that's not a penalty. His arms out stopping a cross. For me, it was a penalty. It wasn't.
But the thing is, though, even though we've seen them given before, if it's given, we never liked it. That's the issue.
No, that's the thing. For me, that's stopping a cross, which can go in for a header, a save, anything like that can happen. So for me, they should be a penalty. But it went for Arsenal. It went for Arsenal this time. Later on in the season, one like that's going to go against him. It comes in swings and roundabouts.
Alan?
So it's one of them that went for Arsenal this week.
Alan, you called it a couple of weeks ago. the refs need to start being consistent. Because for me, I still stand by. I don't think that's a penalty, and this is coming from Liverpool fan. I just honestly don't. For me, if that happened against us, I would be annoyed if it was given. So I don't think it was penalty. However, I understand why it should be, because we've seen them given many times. There needs to be some sort of consistency. So I see why our fan base is annoyed. The Gabriel Jesus one, for me, is Stonewall. Our fan base are complaining, but Thiago's attempted to get the ball. He hasn't got the ball, but he's got Jesus. It's a penalty. Sometimes you just have to accept these things.
Clear.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to accept these things. And I believe, even if we had got given that penalty for the handball and Gabriel, the way Arsenal were playing, I just think we would have conceded. We're lucky it wasn't 4 and 5 today, honestly, because that's the only thing I'd say about Arsenal. Arsenal were clinical, and I think Egal would agree, but they could have been more clinical. There was a chance Odegaard had, and he just shot straight at Alisson, but he had either side of Alisson to aim at. But
Odegaard's a problem because he doesn't realize when to shoot, when to pass. And I honestly believe like he needs a shooting coach, because like when it comes to where to slot it, when to take shots, a lot of his goals have also been deflections. Like he's not the best at finding the back of the net.
Gal, you know who we should take a leaf out of their book? Vieira. Because if that's Vieira now, I'm not saying he 100% scores, but he hits. Actually, Odegaard hit the target, but I feel like he'll hit the target, but not straight.
Fabio Vieira is a better ball striker in general, though. He's a better ball striker.
Yeah.
Fabio has a better ability of scoring. But you know what? I could see both of them playing. Xhaka's in such a great form. I could see both of them taking turns on who plays. Even though Odegaard's our captain, I could see Odegaard dropped for a couple games, maybe rested. Maybe that's a better way to phrase it. But I could even see him dropped on some big games if we need a goal in midfield, and we know he's not going to be able to offer it, because Xhaka is popping up for goals lately, and he almost had a sensational opportunity to score if he didn't get it over the bar near post. But
just to add on this, one thing I will say though, and I think all three of you agree, we didn't play badly. We had a lot of the ball, had quite a bit of possession, but that's been the narrative of our season. But it's what we did with it. We wasn't that potent. And I have to speak on Trent, because we know this guy at defending is just, it's worrying. But why the second goal annoyed me so much? He did not even have to commit. Henderson was showing him why. And once you did then commit, why let him come back inside? We know Martinez is a great dribbler, but you just didn't need to do that. He actually was in a good position where he started. He didn't need to go and commit that. And Salah, you have to do more. You have to do something. And I said a couple months ago on my channel, there's only 2 players that had lucrative contracts that have got better in the last 5-6 years. For me, that's Sterling and De Bruyne. You saw it with Sanchez, you saw it with Ozil, you saw it with Pogba. When you get and Aubameyang, when you get them big lucrative contracts, normally it goes one way. And I suggested this to the fan base. They called me mad. They said you're being negative. That you're being silly. He's had 5 elite seasons. He'll come good. I said I'm not saying he will flop, but it can happen. Money could get to his head. And so far, I'm being proven right. And it's not even just since the contract. He's been poor all of 2020. Ever since he's come back from AFCON, he's been poor. And in times like this, you look to your best players to create something out of nothing. But yeah, there's
an interesting similarity between this is just something that came to mind when you mentioned those 2 names. Sterling and De Bruyne, I think, were the only 2 players either ever or in a long time that actually negotiated their contracts without an agent. Both of them 2 went to City themselves, and they spoke like when it's in that situation, you know your worth, and you're saying, "Here's what I bring to the team. This is why I deserve X amount of money." It's
Didn't De Bruyne get his stats within the contract meeting?
He did. He did his influence on the game, what I'm bringing to this team, and this is why I believe I deserve X, Y, Z. Those kind of things that you're mentioning is proof of you're not giving this guy money for the sake of, what does he bring to the team on more than just on the pitch. The influence that he's had, how big he's been for many more years. When you weight these things out and then you decide to break your wage structure for a player, that kind of stuff is not going to be good, long-lasting effects for the team. But it is one thing as well, though. You guys had very little chances. Like if you look at the expected goals you guys had, you were scoring goals on it was a ruthlessness that I've seen from you guys before. But what usually happens is you have such control of a game that your ruthlessness is the difference. This one, you guys didn't really have control of the game. Maybe possession you had, but not control of many of the chances. And with the small moments that you guys had, it was individual moments of brilliance, which can't be relied upon, unfortunately.
In regards to Salah, I mean, Klopp has to take some of the blame on that because you're playing your best player, your most influential player, your deadliest player so far out wide that he's not getting the chance to get in the game. And when the game is a 2-2, you take him off with 22 minutes to go.
And put Henderson in his position. It's absurd. And
you saw, literally, I called it. I was like, no, Klopp's got a blood on his hands here because you do all that and you allow Arsenal to take complete control after that. You weren't even providing anything. You were giving bits here and there against them, but as soon as that happened, you were dead compared to them. Literally, they were just, and they were so easy. That last 22 minutes after they got the third goal as well, so comfortable for them. They get because you had nothing left. It was like the thing from Ian Bill from EastEnders. I've got nothing left. Liverpool fans,
I've got nothing left.
It really was. It really was. And Trent, I don't know what Martinelli just scored him.
Let's just say Arsenal, honestly, made Trent look like a joke. Salah defensively, we played one of our more defensive players in that position, even more defensive than Tierney. Tomiyasu playing in that left back position. So game plan wise, Arteta got his game plan right.
I'm being disrespectful. Sorry, big up Arsenal first of all.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, I'm speaking too much about Macrob. You lot thoroughly deserved it. It was a long time coming. I predicted a lot. This is the first Premier League loss I predicted, but I kind of saw this coming. I said if we get a draw, it will be a miracle. I predicted 2-1. The goal margin was correct, but the score was wrong. But Arsenal were excellent. You were excellent, and it was a long time coming. This will do you the world of good because you've now got over that mental block against Liverpool. You've got your first win, and what will now probably happen? A domino effect. You could come to Anfield now and probably get a win or a draw, and this will put you in good stead for the future.
I tweeted this after the game was done. I think once we look back at, there's moments I've seen during this Arteta journey that I look back at and I say, this was a big moment. I think the FA Cup win was a huge one because that gave him so much time.
And that was with the Emery team. That was with the Emery
team. It was. And he showed I can do a different way.
And City.
It's crazy.
That's why I give Arteta some credit because some managers
huge highlight there.
30 years with no trophy.
Another highlight was the moment that he changed from being a first team coach to a manager. That gave him a different level of authority in the dressing room. He could make calls such as the Aubameyang call. This win here to beat Liverpool and to beat them in a way where it was you had control over quite big portions of the game. I think we're going to look back at this Arteta era and look back at a big moment, a big change.
Yeah,
100%.
We finally got that monkey off our back. We finally beat Liverpool after struggling to beat them over the last couple of years since the COVID season. And you know what? It's not only about just beating Liverpool. It's about the fact that we now got back-to-back wins versus Tottenham and Liverpool at home. Like, you guys are forgetting, going into these two games, people are like, that's basically 6 points lost for Arsenal. Count them out. Now people have to take us serious. It's time to take Arsenal serious.
I'll be honest, right? Okay, so the Man United, although you don't have a good record there, like recently, like you were expected to beat them because of how bad they were. So that was a bit of an upset against Spurs. Although Spurs fans were saying the opposite, you were favourite. Let's be honest, you were favourites to beat us because you always beat us at your ground. So that is, I don't like saying it, but obviously that's more of not what people expect us to come there and you beat us. This for me was the game. Although Liverpool have some shortcomings, they've still got the players to be able to pick out results and give performances. And you nullified them and you stopped them doing that for most of the game. This was the one that is for me, the catalyst for you guys to build on. If you follow this up with some really iffy results, then people will say same old Arsenal. If you use this to go on a run and continue to be up there with City come the World Cup, anything can happen after that tournament. So it was...
The thing is, though, Alan, it feels like everyone is waiting to say same old Arsenal when we haven't seen it for so long that it's like we might not actually say same old Arsenal at this point. And that is obviously for Arsenal fans the good thing. The worrying thing for the rest of us is that they're looking like they're beating the teams that they should beat, and they're getting good results against the teams that they shouldn't. Liverpool being the main one. And the more I looked at for me at that moment it was an excuse when they said, "Oh, we came to Old Trafford and Old Trafford's a bad place for us, and we didn't have Partey." I'm looking at them with and without him. They might have been onto something when they said that, because him again today was unreal. Unreal in midfield today. Controlled the game, and he makes things look so simple. And I did not think I would see a player combine the ball playing ability of the likes we've seen in this position in Pep's teams from previous years but also have that feel and that awareness of the guy. I could talk about Partey all day long, man. He's such a good player. The Tomiyasu decision, so good. Martinelli in transition, the right thing to do, not always to pass the first early. Engage your player, take him on. He showed a good turn against Henderson and found that pass towards the end. Wow, this Arsenal team is cooking.
You know what? It's earning a lot of people's respect. But the reason why I say today's win is a huge win based on the fact that we now earn everyone's respect. Now, people, before you were paying attention to us, but now you're actually listening to what we're saying. That's where I go with it. But the whole title challenge thing, I'm not there yet. I personally don't think, yes, we're at the top of the table, but I genuinely believe that this Arsenal team still can go and win all our games in October. We can still be first going into the World Cup. And I will still have some recollection and some like reluctance to say we are in a title challenge until I see us late in the season. If we go into the World Cup, a couple points away from Man City, I still will be reluctant. Would you guys still be reluctant at that point? Or what? At what point do we have to take
Bro, you can't keep being reluctant, bro. You can't keep being reluctant. It's something I'm seeing from you Arsenal fans a lot now. You've got to start acting like you support the best team in the land. And I know you've had a lot of heartbreak, and it's fair to have a lot of heartbreak and feel that way. You literally have. There's something. Listen, there's a big truth that I believe in football. Pep and Jose, they just don't lie. What they've seen so much football that I've seen so much truth come out of them to his mouth. Pep said just the other day, we have to remember there's a team better than us this season. And he's not capping. You guys are the best team in the land so far. I know it's only 9 games. I know it's early doors. But as of right now, today, the date that is today, you're the best team in the land. You got to start acting like your fans are the best team in the country.
I want to add to this, right? Because I'll give you an example. You have to add context to it, but Arsenal are bigger than Leicester, but we did this with Leicester. Leicester in football, you have to aim. There's a saying, I don't know it word for word, but aim for the stars. So you don't get the gist. I don't know the saying.
Reach the stars or something.
Yeah. Word for word. Everyone kept saying Leicester are going to fall off.
One second. I have to understand. Were you screaming 21 was coming?
Have some shame, Asad. Behave yourself, bro.
He's a Chelsea fan anyway. He's a Chelsea fan. He's a Chelsea fan. This is what we did with Leicester. Yeah, every month we went in October when they were near around top. We said, I think they were in the top 4. We said, they'll fall off. Then we get to January, they'll fall off. Then we get to March with that. Leicester still haven't. Remember that game again at the Emirates, Egal, when Welbeck scored, and everyone thought 1 minute Arsenal could do something here. Then we got to April, and Leicester only needed, and then obviously Tottenham joined the occasion, and Leicester only needed a few points to win the league. And it's kind of like, if Arsenal can just stay, I agree with you, guy. I don't think you win the league as well as you're playing. But if you could just stay near City, and we're in March or April or not, and you don't have much to do, then you have to start believing. But I still think it's too early. But you just need to keep within 2-3 points of them until the squeaky bump time, we call it, the business end of the season. Then you never know. This is football then, because they could get it. They're well equipped, but they could get injury to key players, as you lot could as well. But you just never know in football. We've seen crazy things. You just never know.
I'm seeing too many of them. They're playing with the safety on as fans. As fans, they're playing with the safety on, man.
They deep down know. I think they deep down know they're there, but they just want to save their face.
Hold on. I've seen Arsenal fans today saying, we're challenging for the title. So not all Arsenal fans.
You're right. I have as well.
There are some. I've seen some too.
Some Arsenal fans are there, but okay, I understand they're professional, that's fine, but they're not the best team in the land. The best team in the land, City. You can't say they're the best team in the land.
Right now they are. Right now is what I said.
Hold on. Let me finish the point. You can't say they're the best team in the land after 9 games, because not only are Man City on their necks, which they are, who are still the defending champions and all that, who are doing it consistently 4 seasons out of 5, and doing it again this season. They are still the best team in the land. Arsenal are passing what everyone.
Alan, I know how hard it is to win.
Alan. Can I just read something to you? We have scored the second most goals in the league.
Okay.
We have the most points in the league. We have conceded 10 goals, which is tied with Tottenham and Chelsea for the second least.
And that's 2 low block teams as well this season.
We've only lost 1 game out of our first 9 games, we've won 8.
Okay.
Anyone who's done this prior, obviously there was 2 former Arsenal teams that did this challenge.
And it fouled, and
but there's a difference. But there's a difference to say challenge and actually win the league. Right. To win the league, a lot of teams can challenge, but doesn't mean a lot of those teams are actually going to ever win the league.
Okay, let's look what you're forgetting to mention. In previous seasons, Man City have started slow, suffering defeats against teams they haven't, and then go on a blistering run. They haven't had that. The thing is that they're doing better than they should, but Arsenal are way surpassing what people think they should. If it gets to what normally happens, and Man City continue their run like they do, nobody's catching them. You need for them
to still go invincible.
But Alan, right now, you're talking about
look,
you think they'll go invincible, or they could?
No, I'm saying Man City could technically go invincible.
I said that last week or a week before. I've claimed that first.
Yeah, you have. Because Alan, I agree with you because City, they've not even got out of first gear yet, and they've not had their typical bad start. So it's scary.
Yeah.
Speak of the devil. We speak of City and Dabs is here.
Dabs, we were just speaking about Manchester City, and since we're talking about actual title challenge, do you think Arsenal are going to be competing with City for the title?
Before Dabs goes, can I just finish? Abs says, I'm not saying it first fan. I've given Arsenal their flowers. I said this was the catalyst for them, the best performance for them, what they weren't expecting, all that. They need to run with this now and go as far as they can up in
As of right now, who's the best team in the land right now currently?
Man City. I'm not having this because they're top and all that. There's been times before.
So Pep was chatting shit.
Let me finish.
Go on, bro.
November when Mourinho was in charge. What, Spurs? Because we were top in November. We were the best team in the land when we were playing awful football. No, you got to look
at that moment in time. You were.
No, you can look at it.
I'm not saying anything crazy.
No, you're the type of person, and Egal's coming here, and Egal has said he's not seeing that. But you're the people.
But he's saying not title challenge. He's talking about the whole season.
I know what you're doing. You're kind of building them up to knock them down.
Honestly,
and I can see Arsenal fans in the chat.
However it works, whichever way it goes, I'm winning either way. I'm winning either way. But the point is this: as of right now, and Pep said it as well, and I don't think he's lying when he says this. There is a team performing better than us this season.
Pep says a lot of things. He also said he couldn't replace Aguero. You replaced Aguero.
One second. And I feel, if you guys are thinking Pep is doing that, I don't think he's doing that. He's not really a mind games guy. And I said this earlier. Pep does not when I hear him talk about football, he's not capping, bro. I never think Pep is capping when he's talking.
No, he says it how it is.
He says it how it is right now. And the thing is,
all of the time, though. All of the time. Majority of the time, not all of the time.
Okay, yeah, more time, because it's an opinion-based thing. Of course, sometimes you might not agree with him. I hear it, but as of what he's saying there, there's a team performing better than City right now. Arsenal fans.
Performing better than City. I don't know if right now they're performing better than City.
Exactly.
What you would say is because what you would say is there's certain games for example. The Man United game, they certainly didn't perform better than City. But then you could look at the Newcastle game for us and say in that game, we didn't perform better than Arsenal in other games. Yeah. But the fact is they are top of the league. And
that's what I'm saying. I don't want them shirking away from the fact that they're top of the league.
Arsenal fans definitely aren't shirking away from the fact they're top of the league.
You're a very smart man.
Egal was saying, no chance. I'm not in the title challenge. It's not happening. Stop. Take your safety off, bro.
But this is what I'm doing. I'm just round here trying to find a dance partner, because Egal, and I hate to say it, bro, but you just literally, we've had a dance partner for the last couple of years. Yeah, I'm not going to say. Some people say, "Oh, they've made City better." Absolute bollocks, right? We did the 100-point season before Liverpool were about, right? So all of this Liverpool pushed. No,
I'm glad you mentioned that because Staps. There's this false perception that people seem to think the title that we competed in that season. No, we didn't. We just about got top 4.
Nowhere near in that season. United came second.
Rival started from that season.
Fake second. We got fake second. 20 points.
Yeah, fake second. But we got 100 points that season. Liverpool were fuck all to do with that. We actually dropped off towards the end of the season. So that when Liverpool came good. So that is complete bollocks.
Okay, but Daps, do you remember the season where you two both won games from January until May?
Yeah, but this City Liverpool push us ultimately.
ultimately, the 2 seasons we've been in a title race, we haven't got more points than the 100-point season. So people can't say, "Oh, City got better since Liverpool."
It's not like your legacy is tainted
What
by
it is
Liverpool,
with Pep
100%.
is what Pep knows how to do, and what Pep has got this City team doing is knowing how to finish above whoever is second. Doesn't matter whether it's Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, Southampton, whoever. Pep just knows how to stay strong and take it one game at a time when it gets to the business end of the season. It doesn't matter who it is. This whole narrative that, oh, it's Liverpool pushing us. No. But what I was going to say is, Egal, your team today has officially, broke the legs of our dance partner. You've trod all over their feet. Their feet are fucked, bro. They can't enter the competition with us no more. So someone has to step in. Otherwise, our season's going to be very boring. So Tottenham might step up. Right now, with Conte, they might. You know what? I do think at the moment they ain't been playing the best football, but the fact is they are where they are, and I do expect them to get better because they're slowly bringing in their players. But right now, bro, you've broke the toes of our dance partner, so you have to step in and say it. Yeah, we're in this race now. You have to say it, bro.
Shout out Hussam, man. I just saw him say good luck, Roms, as well.
Listen, pick up to Hussam every single time. OG on the channel, obviously. Mojo's in the San Siro right now, guys. Let him enjoy himself in Italy.
Oh, for real?
And also,
he's eating a pizza. He's eating a pizza in Milan somewhere.
Yeah,
nice.
Enjoy it. You know what? We're going to let Liverpool off easy now. We're going to move on from Liverpool, even though
Do you know what? Just quickly on the game, what I would say today is, and I like to, even as a City fan watching it, for me, it was perfect because I think Liverpool showed how weak they are. Arsenal took advantage of that. But I won't say that today Arsenal rolled Liverpool over and looked sensational. I think there was flashes of brilliant. Martinelli, I think, was sensational today. I expected it, and I think he was. Again, Partey showing he was the engine. Partey maybe showing he can do some dirty work as well today, which was quite important. That is something that you're going to need that in a title race. You need some players that can do that dirty stuff. Listen, we have Fernandinho for years. That's what you need. But I wouldn't say that this is an Arsenal team that after watching them today, I fear. I'm still waiting to see that.
The thing is, this mentality of top two, I hate it. I want to say I'm in a title race, but I genuinely don't believe it yet. Reason being, I need to see us get to January with the squad that we have and strengthen. Because I feel like we still are like fragile. We don't have enough to withstand a 38-game season. I've seen us not be able to withstand a 38-game season with a couple less players than what we have right now. But I'm not saying we're not going to get top four. Boys and girls, top four is done. We are in
You're getting top four. Oh, yeah. You're getting top four. I would also say...
Take that safety off, my boy. Take that safety off.
You know what? The other thing is as well today...
You know how you used to say Arsenal loves fourth? This season, it's not that we love fourth. Tottenham, watch out. Chelsea, watch out. Liverpool, watch out. We're finishing above all you guys potentially. That's the reality.
Do you know the other thing? For our show this morning, we ended up changing the title.
I don't even have to mention Man United, really, because they beat us. So
on our thumb, we ended up changing the title of it, but it was going to be, because I was saying, I don't know if it was on your show on Friday, I might have said it, that this could be the game where I do feel like Liverpool still, although they're aging and whatever, they're the men and Arsenal are the boys. And today it was if some of your players could step up and maybe, and I think you've seen that, like Saka getting 2 goals today. That's big. It's a big game and he scored 2 goals. Whether people want to say he was amazing throughout the whole game or not, he scored 2 goals against Liverpool. That's big, right? Martinelli again coming of age, showing it. Jesus is looking like a seasoned 30-year-old right now. Like the way he's playing is just you know what? My club, we've taught him well, man. This guy's mentality is different. No Zinchenko, you know what? No Tierney as well. That was another one.
But with that being said, though, is there echo? Is it just me or is there echo?
No, I think it's Abs. Go ahead.
With that being said, though, some of our fan base are funny. So I don't know if you lot saw this. They got excited. They said, "No Tierney, no Zinchenko. Salah could have a field day." This is the same Salah, right, that has been pocketed by Anthony Robertson, and Matt Target this season. That's number one. So he's been pocketed by average left backs. That's first thing first. Number two, if you watch Tomiyasu, he's a quality defender. He's versatile. He can play anywhere across the back four. And the fact he's better than the players that have pocketed Salah, what did you think the outcome would be? We're also now, like Alan alluded to earlier, we're asking Salah to be a touchline winger now as well. He's not going to do nothing from that wide. We need him close to goal. So the fact he's further from goal against a better left back, there was only ever going to be one.
It's 8 games into the season. It's comfortable to just say, you know what, you guys are no longer the team that you thought you were, as you already said, and it's just you are now going to be going through a transition potentially. It could. Are we
moving on now?
It could be Klopp out, as you said. It could be some of these players that have been there for years and need to move on. And I genuinely believe football is in cycles. Let's end it here. I think Liverpool's time is done, bro. Really and truly.
Unfortunately, I agree with you. I actually agree with you. It's sad, but like I said, foot works in cycles. Teams evolve, and what makes it.
You guys get top 4 and potentially can run something back next year, but this year is a write-off in the league.
I said it to you last time, Roms. I said it to you last time, bro. If he doesn't recycle this squad and do the things that Sir Alex used to do when he used to make new squads every couple of years, and he saw that these guys were not good enough, and I need to freshen it up. If you can't do that, then you're gonna be stale soon.
Yeah.
And you know what? DT once said Arteta broke Klopp. He really did this time. He really did this time. Anyways, we're gonna move on. What are you saying, Dabs? Man City, Haaland scored. I'm not gonna lie. I put my hand up.
He underperformed. He didn't get a hat trick. He underperformed.
Phil Foden for Man City is 10 times the player what Saka is for Arsenal when it comes to output. But the thing is, when he's playing for England, it's a different situation. I don't know what it is when he's playing for City.
Oh, it's the same for most players, though, isn't it?
What?
It's the same. Talksport had this conversation the other day, and it's true. It's the same with most players. Most amazing England players, you get them at club level where they're playing with players from all around the world. They can ball. For England, I don't know. I mean, I've seen Foden look good for England, but it's
basically that was me trying to say I kind of am worried that Foden and Saka debate might end soon. But today's performance from Saka brought it back.
Foden. Abs, what you were just saying, Haaland underperformed on.
If he's not got a hat trick, my God.
Oh, he looked pissed off. But no, again, this is a thing, yeah. I had this
conversation
with someone earlier. It is going to be, it's irritating, yeah. That is all people are doing, basing it on his goals. But I'll be honest with you, he's getting involved, man. Like, he is getting involved. He's getting back. There was one point where he ended up winning a ball when I think we were 3 or 4-0 up. And I was actually like, I don't want to see you doing that because you're stretching too much. And I don't want to see an injury out of nowhere, yeah? With you trying to win a ball that you don't need to be coming that deep to try and win. And so he is getting involved. But, yeah, you know what? It was a good game. It was nice to see. We kind of played 3 at the back as well. We played Akanji, Ake, and Diaz. And then we played Cancelo kind of, and then almost Mahrez as like a wing back, but with Bernardo Silva, which isn't good because Mahrez doesn't track that very well. But Bernardo Silva was everywhere. So he was kind of doing a lot of covering for Mahrez. But it's clever what Pep's been doing. He's trying. If you notice now, we got 2 left-sided centre backs in Laporte and Ake. 2 right-footed centre-backs in Diaz and Stones. And then we've got Akanji, who's right-footed but can play on the left. So we're well-balanced. And he's using this point in the season to partner up everyone to get them used to playing with each other. The other thing is Cancelo had a great game again. Foden and Cancelo were having a party down the left, to be honest with you. It's just, you could see the defenders, yeah, every time Foden and Cancelo were going at him down the left. It's like they wanted to go to him, but at the same time they were thinking, but they're going to cut it back to Haaland at any point, so we don't want to go to him. And then it's like they weren't going to him, and then it's like, well, in that case, Foden and Cancelo were like, cool, no problem, we'll just score then. So it was, and this is a worry. And going back to what you lot did, I said it on Friday. if you lot beat Liverpool, right? Now Liverpool have to go to Glasgow. A Liverpool, how are you doing in the Champions League wise?
That's the only bit of hope. If we beat Rangers, we're in good stead. We're already on 6 points.
But if you don't beat Rangers,
and it's away. It's at the Ibrox.
and this is what I just said. Monts just said, "Oh yeah, but we'll beat Rangers." I said, "No." I said Rangers at Anfield and Rangers at Ibrox are two completely different things. Yeah, the hostility towards Liverpool, man, because of that's going to be different. Exactly. You ain't got no Trent now. You're coming off a loss. You ain't got Diaz
as well. No Diaz.
You ain't got Diaz, and in the back of your manager's head is going to be the fact that you're facing City at the weekend. You can't guarantee you're going to beat Rangers, but so you're going to have to rest players. So look, Arteta and Arsenal did exactly what I wanted. They've taken points off of you, man. Now we are going to Anfield, the most confident I think I have ever been going to Anfield. I can say that. It's a hard game for us to go to, hard ground for us to go to. The only time we've won there recently was COVID season when the fans weren't at the ground.
Oh yeah.
The rest and then since then, I think we've got draws the last 2 years there. Since then,
because it's not like you've been losing, but
we've got to be fair. Before COVID, we were bad there. Then COVID season, we won convincingly there. Then since there, we've probably been the better team the last 2 years at Anfield, but drawn.
Yeah.
This year, I'll be honest. This year, I'm going there with Haaland, thinking Van Dijk. I don't care who he's partnered up with. Trent. Well, it's not going to be Trent now. Who are you going to play on the right? Gomez.
All right, let's
scary hours.
Let's not lie. Gomez is a better defender than Trent, but hey,
he is. That's true.
That is the positive. Now let's just move on from Liverpool and Arsenal, and let's get back to Man City and Southampton. I was expecting 5. You gave us 4, and you know what? Cancelo. Can we now put him in this conversation as the best fullback in the league?
He has to be.
I don't think the conversation was between him. For me personally, it was Reece James and Trent.
Cancelo he was clear. He was in his own world,
was always the case for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Always the case for me. That's how it was.
So Cancelo, because I've seen people say Cancelo is a system player, and you take Reece James, put him in Cancelo's spot, he's doing just as good or maybe even better.
I don't think Cancelo. I don't see
Cancelo anywhere. Cancelo's
nah. So here's the thing: Cancelo is a system player, 100% he is. Yeah, there's no harm in anyone. By the way, Trent's a system player, and as long as Trent has cover, it works fucking perfectly. Right, the flaw is not in Trent, the flaw is in the system now. That there's not people like we can't all of a sudden when Trent's putting the numbers that he's been putting forward, that was working because they were winning stuff. Right now that he hasn't got the cover, it's not working. That's the issue, not Trent. Trent's never been good defensively. I don't care what anyone says, right? Now, for me, Cancelo is not as good as Reece James defensively, but I don't believe Reece James I don't think Reece James going forward is as good as Cancelo. That's for me. If you want to, so if overall, he's got Cancelo has to be. Cancelo should have been in that conversation the last 3 years. Cancelo and Walker.
And just to add on to that. The one key thing
I'm
is
not
he's
so sure about Walker, but definitely Cancelo.
The one key thing about Cancelo, he's versatile. I don't know if Reece James does as well on the left back position as Cancelo does on the right. Do you know what I mean? He can do both. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think like Ab said, for me, I didn't even used to have Cancelo in that conversation.
Do you know there's something that says how important Cancelo is to City, and that was at the start of the season when Pep decided that we were going to be playing with our fullbacks inverted. And when Ake got injured, Pep didn't change how we played because Ake was injured. He went out and got another cover because he was like, no. We have to be able to let Cancelo play the way I want Cancelo to play. We ain't changing. I ain't turning around and saying, Cancelo, actually, don't go as far forward, stay back. He has to for our system. He's very, very, very important to our system, the stretching of the game. So,
And can I ask you one more thing? Is it me or every time you guys sign a center back, he looks like the best center back at your club? What is that? Like Akanji's come in and he just looks like amazing. Everyone who comes in just looks amazing. You have
For
to
me,
give
though,
time to-
John Stones, man. John Stones.
He's
is the
my
one
favourite
me,
for
man.
centre back for City as well.
You know
I
what
think
it is?
John Stones.
If Laporte didn't get injured, it would be him. But John
His
Stones,
pub, but John Stones is injured now for a minute. Do you look? John Stones.
Yeah, exactly.
John Stones is probably the City fan favourite as well. To be fair,
Would you say he's your best centre back?
I think when John Stones is fit, yeah, I'd agree with you. I think statistically last season Laporte was our best. But I would say it's all about partnerships, man. It's all about partnerships. I think Ake on Saturday looked unbelievable because he's so strong, he's quick, he's so confident on the ball. Now he can pass the ball about. You know what it is? It's a system, and it's getting the right players. It's looking for the right qualities in them. They work together. And I think this is the issue at Liverpool at the moment. I don't think Van Dijk is anywhere near.
He needs to be dropped. Now Konate's back. He actually needs to be dropped.
For me, he's not a leader. He's not a leader. He'd rather blame his partners than lead his partners.
Milner and Henderson are two leaders, but that's back onto City. Do you know why I think people do City a disservice? They'll say, City centre-backs aren't that good. The system protects them, they keep the ball so well. But when they get called into action, they're good. So I think people are a bit disrespectful
do you know what? It's mad disrespectful. Firstly, because like, if you look at our defensive record again over the last 4 or 5 years, the number of goals conceded, the fact of how many clean sheets Ederson's kept, and that's not just on Ederson, that's also on the defence. But people will say, that's because you don't have to do anything because you see so much of the ball. Absolutely no problem. So if you're basing it on seeing so much of the ball, please go and look at the number of completed passes by any of our centre-backs, right? They are contributing to what the whole team is doing. But it's not a coincidence that now that Liverpool, and they're saying, it's because the midfield in front of City's centre-backs is so good. Is it not a coincidence that now all of a sudden Liverpool's midfield is not looking as good? All of a sudden your defence looks shit because your defence is not being protected by your midfield. The exact same thing your fan base says about City. It is what it is. Our centre-backs are all I couldn't pick one at the moment. Like you said, Akanji. By the way, have you not seen Akanji doing times tables?
Bro, he's mad.
I've just realised you got 5 top centre backs, don't you? It's not even
Yeah.
Bro, I think it's also a part of the fact that Abs, yeah. I think it's part of the fact that they hold on to the ball so much. But let's move on away from City because, of course, they were top of the league for a little bit, and we took them back down. But you know what? They're going to come back up regardless. We know.
And that's for Southampton, just quickly. I think Southampton, they should be House and Hootel. I think House and Hootel's a good manager. I just think they're lacking, man. I can see him. I don't
think they're going to sack him because they haven't sacked him after 2 9-0 losses.
Your academy prospect is a big reason why I think ever since Lavia got injured, they just went. Remember, I said from the start of the season on your channel. Yeah. Ever since he got injured, they've just gone. They've gone down. I think he was like the glue in that team. Quick question, because we were discussing this before you came on. That I think I know your answer, but do you feel you could go this season invincible?
Nah, no one can do that, but Arsenal, bro.
No, those teams done it before him.
You know what? I'll be real. Asking a City fan if we could go invincible or if we could win a Champions League is like asking an Arsenal fan right now if they're in a title race.
Yeah.
You just don't want to put that.
I don't want to say that.
Take the safety of boys. Take
Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to Manchester United, Everton. I'm not gonna lie. I gave Everton too much credit going into this game. I thought they were gonna get something from Manchester United. I thought Everton were gonna turn you guys over. If I'm not mistaken, they scored first, right? Or was it Man United?
They did.
Yeah, they did. Great goal. Casemiro lost the ball.
Bro, Casemiro, once again, I got a dossier on that guy. But let's get into it. I'm gonna go to the Man United fan here. You can give us the breakdown of what actually went down, because there might be some people who are so caught up in the Arsenal game they didn't watch the Man United game, like myself.
But yeah, it was overall. It turned out to be a good game. It started quite badly, and it's something I remember. I don't know if you saw Egal where before when he was signed from Man United, there was a conversation that Arsenal fans brought up between Casemiro and Partey. And I backed the guy because his record coming in is bloody incredible. What he did at Real Madrid is incredible. But what I quickly saw from his first 2 cameos is that on the ball, in the defensive third, in the build-up phase, he's very spooky. And when I use the word spooky, I mean I'm not ready to call him rubbish at it yet, because it could be a transitional thing. And there is obviously the context within Madrid having 2 of the greatest midfielders of all time in Kroos and Modric. They're gonna take the burden of ball playing ability off your hands, and I do concede that. What he does do, unfortunately for me, is doesn't look smooth in his moving on the ball. The likes of which, if you see Rodri or Partey on the ball, it doesn't look smooth when they're moving the ball through the thirds. He doesn't quite find the passes that break lines. He does play a quite good 1-2 to Eriksen that then opens up space. And having someone like Lisandro Martinez is going to take the burden off that for you, because if we're talking about line breaking passes, there's not much better in the whole league, than Lisandro Martinez at this point in time. So that was how it started. It started with a bit of spookiness of Casemiro. I loved how it's something that Ten Hag mentioned after the game as well. One main thing that he's working on with this squad is how do they react to bad things happening to them in football matches. And he said he wants them to be calm in those situations, the way that we've seen from the top teams do in the past. They play the same way no matter what is going on. And that is something I was happy to see. The ball playing and the build-up play and these patterns of play are always looking good. And Ten Hag, there are patterns building. It's going to be a long process for it to become as systematic as it looked for City and Arsenal both during this game week. It's going to be a long time since we get to that point. What frustrated me is in the second half we didn't have a grip on the game, and it's something I do actually remember. Egal, a lot of you guys had an issue with this with the Arsenal team as well. We're controlling this in a couple of years ago. We're controlling the game in 20-minute portions, in 10-minute portions, in 15-minute portions. I want to obviously control the game for a majority of the game. And obviously we're going to start moving towards that as the team progresses and chemistry builds up. One thing I do want to mention about Casemiro is how incredible he is off the ball. It's a joke how many duels he wins and how easy he makes it look, winning the ball back off opposition, no matter where he is on the pitch, how high he is up the pitch. Yeah, a lot of other good performances. Rashford looked like he was back to his confident best self. Anthony has 3-3 now in the Premier League, and Anthony, which I think is one of the first United players to ever do that in signing for the club. 3 in your first 3 games. So he's obviously bringing us that natural left-footed right winger width that we haven't had. We haven't had a right winger since Antonio Valencia.
Anthony scored again.
Yeah, he scored. He scored the equaliser.
Good goal as well. Good goal.
Yeah, it was. It's the
I
same
know
finish
Ronaldo
that
scored.
You have had a right winger. You had Dan James, by the way.
And you know what? I was gonna go to Ronaldo. Talk to me about Ronaldo's goal. What happened there? Because I know he scored his 700th goal.
Rom's actually mentioned earlier about Thiago and someone that is so important to a team, but you just feel like an injury is around the corner.
Yeah.
And it affects the way you play so well. Martial is a player I love, and I've been in love with for many, many years. And it's been so frustrating going throughout his career, not being able to actually knuckle down and actually give me more than just one good season, give me another consistent year. And there's something that's frustrating about him. But when he got injured in the warm-up, we all thought, okay, it's not looking good. He comes on and I was so proud of his performance, him getting the assist before eventually it was obvious he couldn't play the game. He wasn't fit enough to play the game. But he did start, he impacted the game and then did go off. Unfortunately, we're hoping that he's going to be back soon. Ronaldo came on and it's been tough for Ronaldo the last couple of weeks. And I remember tweeting it the other night. It's not. I don't think it's easy for any real footballing fan, unless obviously you're a fan of a rival club and has hated Ronaldo your whole life. It's not easy for any footballing fan to look at the situation with Ronaldo and be happy about it. Yeah, 700 goals is a ridiculous record. It's a joke of a record. You got to think about some of the players in the Premier League getting 100 goals and getting into the 100 club makes you a legend. 700 goals in your career is a flipping joke. It's an actual.
Do you know what? I was actually just looking at a picture of it, a picture where he's doing the Sue and he's got a shirt that's kind of split between Man United and Real Madrid, and then it's got 700 on the back. But it's like, I don't know. To me, it almost looks like there is. Hold on. There's more. The shirt is more red, and the number is more on the red side of it. Let's be real. How many of these goals did he score at Man United, and how many did he score at Real Madrid?
What about 600?
By the way, he only has 3 hat tricks in the Premier League. That's the same as Haaland in 8 games.
All right,
So-
mate.
True.
Before we stop
So-
talking.
Oh, all right,
Come on,
you
mate.
United fans getting a bit nibbly there. He was just giving a fact.
Unnecessary. We're talking about Ronaldo, mate. 700 goals. All right,
Yeah. But we're just saying,
what
you
age
know.
is Haaland going to be when he hoops?
No,
Haaland
it's just
will
to
reach that
show.
in about 3
It's
years.
just to show.
About
It's just
3
to
years.
show that Ronaldo in the Premier League was not actually like.
Nah,
this
he
goal
wasn't. He was still a kid
Real Madrid
when
Exactly.
he came and left, really. When he came, he was a kid. He left a man, but as soon as he became a man, he left the club.
So what we're saying is, Kane still has a chance if he goes Bayern in the summer.
So, like, the numbers weren't really going to be there on the United side of it.
There you go.
Hi, Alan.
I'm not gonna lie. The conversation, the United game is. Let's go to Ram and Alan on this. What did you guys think about Ronaldo getting 700 goals? And if you guys watched the United game, let us know your thoughts on that also.
You go first, Rom. You can if you want.
I ain't really got too much to say. Obviously, it's an amazing feat that one of the many people regard him as the GOAT. Me personally, not, but he's one of the best ever players to grace this game. It's a fantastic milestone. You can't take that away from him. That's all I've really got to say on that. But I do still think he's to the detriment of United, because I think Abs will agree. I managed to catch the first 10, 15 minutes of that game. I'm not going to lie and say I watched all of it. And United had a lot of fluent attacks till it got to him. It wasn't even one of the goals. Bruno's early goal ruled off offside because of him. He sucked the ball away from a player.
Yep.
Yeah, and he didn't have to. So, again, one of the greatest players I've ever seen grace this game. But it's an amazing milestone. But I just feel he's slowing down United, and he has been. But yeah, it's an amazing feat. It's an amazing feat.
Before we move on, I didn't watch the game because I had better things to do. I'm not going to lie. In regards to Ronaldo, personally, he's my go. I know people say Messi and stuff like that, and that's absolutely fine. You can have your own opinion.
Yeah.
I just prefer Ronaldo. Great achieving what he's done. For me, people are judging him for slowing down at this age now in a very competitive league. I think they're just people are just one of them that are like, will pick a hole with anyone for any small thing. For what he's done in his career at Man United, even last season when he came back, he was so dead apparently, but he still got 17, 18 goals in the failing Man United team. Just shows that the ability he's got. Unfortunately, just age has caught up with him. Same, I think he needs to go to a slower league to still be there, like follow Messi and go to a slower league where it's easier to keep up. And then I think he'll play for an extra year or so. Apart from that, United hit and miss this season, aren't they? They'll look good, look half decent, and then they'll look shit. So it's for one of them until they get like running games or the actual team settled on who they're gonna play and who's going to be in their starting lineup. I think they'll still have an inconsistent season. Then I think hasn't Martial gone off with an injury today? That's I think one thing I saw because Ronaldo came on.
It's a new hip injury, Alan. It's a new hip injury.
He falls apart.
Wait, is it serious?
I think
we don't know the severity of it, but this wasn't the same injury that kept him out previously.
When you said earlier, every team has that important player that you may feel has a injury around the corner. I thought you were just saying that like maybe it could happen. I didn't know he actually came off with a.
No, he came off the pitch. He couldn't play. He got the assist and went off the pitch. It was a good assist to Anthony as well.
Hey, at least he got an assist.
It's very frustrating. He's Ten Hag's number 9. Ten Hag always speaks about Martial.
Even in pre-season, right? I'm not gonna act like I watched you lot, but I know a lot of your good results and your goals came through him in the game against us anyway, but came through him.
He's the biggest. He's the most important player in our team, Ron.
Yeah,
he's the most important player in our team. Honestly, I'm not even joking.
The most.
I stress this so much. That when we don't have him on the pitch, the ball doesn't stick on the top. So we're building up the play well. We're building it with Eriksen. We're building it with Lisandro Martinez. But then when it gets to the final third, the ball's not sticking. The fluid plays that you mentioned, they don't happen. Other than maybe Lisandro Martinez, okay, maybe he's.
That's what I was going to say. Arguably,
maybe it's between them two. But when we have Rashford up top, you saw at the City.
Who's that? The butcher. Is that the butcher?
What did Kaz say in your response last week? He said, the knife was blunt today, but it's going to come back.
1 second. Let me just say this. We're going to move away from the United game, but before we do that, I just want to ask Abs, tell me, do you have hopes for United doing something more than just fighting for the Europa League and trying to get top 4? Or what are you saying? Like, you guys, that's it, right?
That is well, to be fair, before a ball was kicked this season, I had to finish 6th. Yeah, I predicted you. Sorry, my bad. I was talking to myself, though, wasn't I?
You're good.
Before a ball was kicked, I predicted United to finish 6th. Just because this is obviously a new manager that deserves time and building these kind of habits. And as you guys know very well, the Arsenal fans know very well, when you're going in this kind of process, it's going to take time, and you have to weed out the players who can't do it. And at a club like United, when the results are actually, it's more severe to get results at a club like United than any other in the land, I'd say, because of the amount of publicity, fanfare that's around this club. I think Europa League is where I want the team to focus on in terms of what we're going to be doing in this season. I'm not really stressed about winning the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. Top 4, if we get it, for me, would be a huge, huge, huge plus. I think there are 4 better teams than us in the league, if I'm being honest. I think there will be 4 teams that finish above us in this league.
Are we one of them?
Right now, recently, it's not looking like it, but I still think that the quality you guys have had over the last couple of years. I know when you said that you guys might be in a top 6 race, I still think you're in a top 4 race. That is what I believe. I just think there's too much quality there for you guys not to be. Although, like you said, it is looking crazy for you, man. It's spooky, scary hours for you guys, but I still do have you guys finishing above us. But Europa League is what I need to win.
I was gonna go to Alan's Tottenham next. Let's talk about Tottenham, boys. There was some pressure on Antonio Conte, unfortunate passing of a staff member, a Tottenham staff member, and you can tell us a little bit more about that, of course. And Harry Kane scored the winner in an emotional win for you guys. So talk to me. How do you feel about the game? And was it as like, because I was hearing it was very emotional for the Tottenham fans. Did you feel those emotions yourself?
So it was very emotional for the team because the fitness coach, he's known Conte for years and years and years. They're like really close friends, and from what I found out is that he called earlier on this week or last week, basically saying he had the flu, and then obviously he was like, "Well, stay home, get well, we'll see you soon," and that was it. Really, he passed away through that. I will touch on a very negative comment. Like I saw when obviously it was announced on Twitter and people were paying their respects and like stuff like that. There were some obviously had Arsenal badge logos, but I don't know if they were just being trolls or anything like that. Were basically just taking the piss out of that. I think those people do that as scumbags, and for me, I don't. Stuff like that is just unnecessary in regards to that. Football, you can joke about football teams to an extent, but stuff like that, yeah, it's just really ridiculous. But apart from that, it was very emotional because like he was like a father figure to Son and all that. So for me, it was emotional for the team. And then obviously they put in a performance. So in the first half, we went 3-5-2 and we were a much better team. So like a much better team, controlled the ball better, played on the front foot, had more of the ball than we have this season, controlled the game. And then we went for a certain part in the second half to a 3-4-3, and that's where Brighton came on to us. And then we went back to 3-5-2 and we handled it better. For me, that's what we need to do, go for 3-5-2. But then saw that comment from Jack. It's just what was put on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, go and have a look here. If you've got a problem with it,
bro, some disgusting people, man. People don't respect.
If you've got a problem with it, Jack, just kiss my ass. I don't care. Anyway, in regards to that, there's a problem. Is that Kulusevski, when he comes back, he won't be
so important.
3-5-2. I don't know if he can be a wing back on the right hand side. I think he can, but I don't know if Conte will play him there because he, for some reason, is dead set on Royale, who is absolutely fucking shocking. So for me, I'm not entirely sure.
Alan, do you reckon he plays Royale because of the whole dispute between him wanting Spence on? Is he proving a point there, or what do you reckon that's because of?
It's the thing. He put Doherty in there after slamming this week, saying he doesn't want to lose the game, but Doherty had his best game for Spurs. So I don't know. It's a really weird area for Spurs on the pitch. I don't know what he does to fix that. I mean, he's saying Spence was a club signing, but for me, Spence with ability and what he's shown is just as good as the other two we've got there because they were inconsistent. And, got so many problems, and they cause problems for the defense as well. So I'd give him a go. I'd just put Spence in, but it is what it is. Hopefully, Spence can either learn or go on loan and just progress, because obviously he's a great talent. I don't want him going elsewhere. But yeah, for me, 3-5-2 is definitely the best formation for us. Just don't know where Kulusevski fits into that, because he's going to play Son and Kane because of the chemistry. But it looks like if it's 3-4-3, Kulusevski will come back in. But yeah, we haven't played great football at all. We haven't played great football at all this year so far. The odd half a game or 3/4 of a game, and we're still third. So it's, when it did pick up at the end of the season, all that, we were tearing teams apart. So if it does click, then we'll be top 4, top 3, like I said we would.
I'm just going to take this away. I didn't realize how important Kulusevski was, honestly. I get it that he was producing, but I didn't think him being out of your team makes you guys have to change your whole formation, makes you guys have to play a whole different style of football. Not style, but a whole different way of attacking. It's just, without Kulusevski, it shows the lack of depth, because you only have Kulusevski and Lucas Moura, and they're both out. Yeah. So without them two, Richarlison can't fill in that position. It just doesn't work. Richarlison playing that front three, the way you guys used to play, it doesn't work. And it gives me it makes me think, have we underestimated how good this kid is? Or is it, or would you say we underestimated?
We all have for his age as well, though. I think we all have for his age.
Yeah, well. I mean, the thing is, the reason why I think Richarlison is obviously a backup for Kane and shouldn't be that is that he's naturally drawn to the centre. So you got Kane, obviously, who's the striker. You got Son, who stays more on the left, and Kulusevski on the right. So he goes to the right and gets a byline, put a ball in. He can cut in and put a ball in with his left, or he can shoot and all that. And he stretches the play. With Richarlison, he wants to be a bit too narrow and he comes a bit congested. That's why I think Kulusevski coming in, Son and Kane, that's why I think it works so well as a front three, just because Kulusevski keeps the width and keeps the play stretch. If he was drawn to the centre as well, I don't think it would work. So I think we'd have that problem, and that's why I think 3-5-2. But like I said, it works because he stays on the wing. For me, that's the reason why he's so good.
I have a hot take. I think Antonio Conte, either the fans are going to turn on him if he continues to play a 3DM midfield, or they're going to expect more from him this season, and they're going to be disappointed very much.
This is where me and my own fan base have problems, because, I mean, quite a lot of the Spurs fan base have got into the notion that attractive football is where it's at. It's fucking not. It's really not. I don't care if we played terrace football and won a trophy. I'll take that over, let's play pretty open football.
Sure, you're not a Chelsea fan?
Yo, how can someone say LOL but look like Rom? Yo,
I'm laughing at what I've said. That's
I've made a joke in the chat. Rob looks dead to the world, and he's saying LOL. He looks dead to the world. Imagine saying LOL.
Straight facing.
No, that wasn't what Alan was saying. That wasn't what Alan was saying.
Yeah. Get back to you've thrown me now. I don't even know what the fuck I was saying.
Yeah, I didn't even know what the fuck's going on. All I know is
talking about terrorist football, but go on now.
Yeah, Tottenham just keep getting the results, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'll give you guys one thing. You guys get the results, and it's ugly, but is it sustainable? Because I genuinely believe Tottenham could be fighting for top 4.
Well, we will be fine. For me, like I said, 4th for 3rd. But like Spurs fans are like, we want to play open, attractive football. We did under Poch, we won fuck all. You got a world-class manager there who we know how he plays, and he sets the team out to play his way and win stuff with it. So just let him get on and do it. This whole thing of, but it's not pretty football. I don't give a shit.
But is it sustainable to win ugly every game?
Trophies, I don't give a shit.
It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable.
You can't win trophies playing the way you play.
Hold on. You're saying it's not sustainable and you can't win trophies, but he's done it with every team he's been at.
And you win the league playing ugly.
Alan, the only thing with that is,
would
you argue the teams he's won leagues with, wouldn't you say they had better teams than Spurs?
Well, I can't say that because I don't watch it. I'm not one of these that watch Serie A the entire time. But I think
Chelsea team is better than your team now. His Chelsea
That's
team
the main
was
team I was referring to.
Relax. Okay, but let's talk about. I think when he first took over Chelsea, it was going bad and all that, and he changed it mid-season, and then you kicked on. So you were awful until he changed it because you lost 3-0 to Arsenal and you were 8th or 9th in the league. He changed things.
You boys were awful when he took over, no?
No, we were, and he got us top 4. We shouldn't have been top 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so he's got the ability with that, and obviously this Spurs team isn't the same. So he can do it. Just let him get on and do it. Stop as a fan base going, oh, but it's got to be pretty football. No, we tried it with.
Do you reckon he can win the league?
Not with this team this season, no. If he's another season and he gets in another 3 or 4 players pushing up and get top quality players that he wants,
only 3 or 4.
Okay.
Only 3 or 4.
Yeah, because you've got the basis of a squad there now.
Fair. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say this, Alan. We're gonna regroup. Well, who's Tottenham playing next?
We are playing Everton and then Man United.
We'll see.
Everton
we'll see
where? Home or away?
Everton
we'll see after the United game. I think you beat Everton, but I want to see how you play against United because United.
I'm trying to see that too.
That'll be a good. Yeah,
it'll be a big test for us to break a low block. They're gonna be playing outside their box.
Anyways, let's get on to Graham Potter's Quidditch ball. They're looking good. I'm not gonna lie, and I want to start with Dabs on this one. Dabs, are you impressed with Graham Potter yet?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not qualified to speak on it.
Okay.
I've like real talk. I haven't watched either games. The fact is, I
work there sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Say that. Yeah, I haven't watched enough of the games to be honest with you. So looks that way from what I'm hearing.
Let me tell you something. They dropped Reece James, Aubameyang, and Raheem Sterling, and still won the game.
Not just them.
Look, Sterling is. I got asked the other day if I'd have Tuchel.
And Thiago also.
I got asked a question. It was a weird question. It was like if City had to get a manager right now, who would you take? And I was like, we don't. And we wouldn't, because we wouldn't just sack a manager without knowing. And why would we sack Pep? But if you wanted an answer, they go, would you take Tuchel? I was like, hell no. Not a chance.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Not a chance. As I actually did say right now, like, we could have it, and they said, oh, it would have to be a manager that's available. I said it wouldn't. We'd take whoever we wanted. But I'd probably, right now with City, I'd probably consider Arteta.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Because I think who else? It's the whole philosophy, and also what's it called? The Spain manager, can't remember his name for the life.
Luis Enrique.
Luis Enrique, that's it. But I think the main reason ultimately why I'd say Arteta is because I think he gets the exact Man City philosophy, because that's what he's taken to Arsenal. So I would say, he's got. You know what it is, yeah. I'm sensing that. You're starting to get a system. Arsenal was starting to get a system where it doesn't matter what personnel playing it, they can fit in it, because it's about the system. That's what it's about. You have to have competent players. You have to have players with the right mentality. You have to have players that listen to the manager. You get them things, and of course, don't get me wrong, you have to have quite a few fucking stars. You have to have your De Bruyne. You have to have your Martinelli, but you have to also, the most important thing is having players that listen to the manager, players that get how to play in the system, players that can play in multiple positions. That's what you have to have. And I think that's what Arteta is getting at Arsenal right now. So yeah, but as for Potter, I think Potter will do good things. I was confused by Chelsea's fan base's reaction when they got him. I get their love for Tuchel because he did stay loyal through a hard time for them. But it was like, you know what? This could be the one time that you're going to get a manager that could actually have you playing good football. Like the one thing that Chelsea have been successful. They've won stuff, but they've never played not good. They've never played entertaining football. And I do think they've played good football. They've played very efficient football, but an effective football. But he's going to get them playing potentially good football. But did he rest the players because of the Milan game? I presume.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah, he made because for those that knows, I work in the hospitality bit, and big up see if he does tune in, Egal, but a guy that's always in my box is a guy called Jack, and he literally just said what Dap said. As much as we've been the most successful team in England in the last 20 years, there's never once been not a good brand of football, but an entertaining and attractive brand of football. And he was saying, as much as we have an attachment to Tuchel, he was with us through thick and thin, won the Champions League with a squad that wasn't his. They feel this is why they've given it's unheard of Chelsea giving a manager 3+ years on a contract, but they had to give Potter a 5-year contract because they actually believe in him. And the general consensus with the Chelsea fans is, let's say he does go through a rough patch, because it will happen. It's inevitable. They're not going to turn on him. And I know us as rival fans think, yeah, the minute if he goes on like a 10-game winless run, he's going to be gone. No, the general consensus around there is they're actually going to back him this time. And
do you know what it is, Roms? It's because, like, right, and this isn't slander, Alan, so please don't see it as slander, yeah? But where Tottenham are right now, I think what Alan was just openly saying a minute ago, yeah, about whatever to get the trophies. It is a fact. I saw it when I moved down here from up north, yeah, and I used to want City merchandise. I couldn't get it, right? My sister was having to buy me shirts and send them down here. We won a league, and all of a sudden, Clinton Cards sell City stuff, yeah? And then young kids start supporting. Whoever wins, young kids start supporting that team, right? And if I go back to City, Mancini, we still played actually quite good football, but it was a lot more defensive than we play now, right? Same. I think that eventually Newcastle, to win something, I believe, I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle break the bank on someone like Diego Simeone, right? Someone like that will bring in a effective football, but it's not the best on the eye, but it will win you trophies, yeah? And Tottenham might be doing that now. Now, Chelsea have done that, and they've won trophies. But then, and this is one thing that Pep, I know we've won more trophies since Pep's joined us, but it's the quality of our football takes us to a wider fan base. It improves our brand. So Chelsea right now, yeah, Chelsea have won trophies. They've done that. They've got 2 fucking Champions Leagues, for fuck's sake, right? But their brand of football has never been like Arsenal are blessed. Their brand of football, to be fair, has always been good. They need the Champions League like we need the Champions Leagues. Because to get this bigger brand, you have to get all the different things. Chelsea need good football too. And that's what this owner's come in and gone, forget success. We've done success and I do want success, but we need to make this brand bigger. And that's what he'll do. He'll come in and he'll bring a style of football that people across the world will like more than this boring football that they've seen for so many years at Chelsea.
Yeah. And I'll wrap it up quickly on Chelsea. I just have to give him credit because I think it was 6 or 7 changes and they were so fluent. This isn't the Chelsea we've been all getting onto, your boring Chelsea. Like, they were actually fluent. I'm not into XG and all these new terminologies, but I feel like if I had to assume that they actually was up there, those players that don't normally scoring. You don't even associate with 3-0 with a Chelsea win anymore. It's normally a 1-0 Jorginho penalty or maybe a tight-knit 2-1. They get the job done, but it's never as comfortable. And the scoreline was actually reflected on the performance. It was a comfortable scoreline. It was a comfortable performance. One player I do want to big up from Wolves, though, which is just going to get me mad again because my club were linked with him. Instead of
Nunes.
Yeah, instead of waiting for Bellingham, who we're not even going to get anymore. But he was class. Mateus Nunes was class. You know when you're playing so well, but the other players around you aren't on your wavelength. He was getting the ball. Podence and Adama weren't timing their runs properly. Diego Costa just can't meet the ovation he got from the bridge. By the way, it was. I don't know if you saw a match today. It was the loudest the bridge has been because it's a library there. But the minute an opposition player came off, which is rightly so a legend.
Where's Mojo? Where's Mojo, crazy. Man?
And Mojo can't deny that. If Mojo's watching this on watch back as well, Stamford Bridge is a library. But the minute Diego Costa went off, big ovation. But Chelsea look worrying, man. They're worrying me, and they're looking more fluent. And they actually,
they should worry you, bro.
Yeah, cool for me.
Bournemouth are worrying you right now.
Oh, the whole premise, man. But yeah, I think 3 goals against. Wait, what was the score against Milan again? 2 or 3? I can't remember, but 2 goals against Milan, 3 goals against Brighton. Like, he's got 2 clean sheets since being there. They're scoring goals. It's looking a bit rosy for them. Shout
out Kepa, man. London Cowboys. Go on, Egal.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this. Fair play to Chelsea. Kai Havertz scored. don't really see him on the goal sheet quite often. And you know what? He chipped in. You also have to give it up to Mason Mount. Got 2 assists, even though he's constantly getting criticized by his fan base.
He was actually playing through balls. He was actually passing forward this game.
And he was playing in the 10, which a lot of people have been calling for him to play in. That's the position they say he should be playing in. And Christian Pulisic showed up, and Broha showed up. It was like, what? Since when does Christian Pulisic score a goal? Yeah. Didn't really see that coming, but he did a good little movement with Mason Mount, scored a goal. Broha scored a goal.
That reverse pass from Mason Mount. Wow.
Broha is their hidden gem. I just feel sorry that they've got a name in Aubameyang that they have to play, because this is going to be bold for me, but I don't think you lot will turn the cheek here. Broha's probably right now, like as of now, probably a better player than Aubameyang. Aubameyang has the profile and whatnot, but Broha, I think he suits Chelsea's system even more, and it was evidence. The minute he came on, he dribbled past 3 players, created a chance for himself. Then the next chance he got, he tucked away, and it was a beautiful finish. But he's their hidden gem. He is their hidden gem. I think
he's more in the modern day number 9 mold. I can hold up the ball and I can turn and face my defender as well. Aubameyang is just the goal scorer on the last.
Just goal scorer, yeah. The more Broha starts, he'll start scoring for them.
Did you hear about Aubameyang? He's finished. Arsenal fans don't like him anymore because of what he
did. He was dancing in the Chelsea shirt. They don't rate him no.
No. What happened today?
The Arteta thing.
He's done.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Why would he do?
Basically, a video leaked of him talking smack about his former team.
He was talking to Tion Wayne. Mad link up. He was talking to Tion Wayne. It was an interview with Tion Wayne.
Tion Wayne.
Tion Wayne. I don't know how them two linked up, but that's what got leaked. Go on.
So basically,
he loved London too much, man.
At this moment in time, there was a video, and here's what was said in the video. Let me play it for you guys, because it's not really clear what he's saying, but
big characters or big players, he can't deal with it.
Doesn't have good people skills.
He needs some young players. They don't say anything. They listen.
Yeah. They're young.
So he's saying Arteta doesn't have good people skills, good man management skills. He needs young players to just say yes, basically calling my yes man and calling the players yes man. And it's like, it's disrespectful to your former manager, and it's disrespectful to your former players.
But more so, do you know what it is as well though? He's disrespecting himself, yeah, because he's saying, oh yeah, he just needs yes men, and it's like, well, you know what, bro?
That's what he's saying.
You know what, bro? These yes men have got Arsenal performing a damn sight better than you did. So, I mean, it's cool.
Big characters, big players, he can't deal with it. He needs young players who don't say anything. That's what he said.
And just do it on the pitch instead.
That was his whole thing. And we're just gonna wrap it up here. I'll play it one more time so you guys can actually see what he says.
Manage like big characters or big players, he can't deal with it.
Doesn't have good people skills.
He needs some young players. They don't say anything. They listen.
Yeah. The young ones. Yeah. But he's the one that had a problem with Ozil, right? As well. Yeah. So Ozil was on the bench for how long? A year. Yeah. And they're paying him big money. Who do you think out of these young players?
So it's like,
I want to see more of that clip, man. Because someone asked me.
I'm gonna watch that now.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I just feel like that's disrespectful. I don't know about you guys. What is he supposed to say? Obviously, was this an interview? Was this like?
I don't think it was an interview. I think it was just a YouTube. It's a clip from another video that has not obviously been fully released. I don't think.
Bro, I don't know why you would say something like that on the record. Makes no sense. If it was off the record and it was leaked, I understand to a certain degree. But if it was on the record, you're an absolute imbecile. That's the reality. He's an absolute idiot if he's saying that on the record. If it's off the record and someone leaked it, I can't blame him. But if it's on the record, he's an idiot. Why the hell would anyone do that to their former club?
I don't care. The camera in the room is not hidden, though. It looks like it's just the camera in the room, and he knows the conversation that's being had. Poor form.
It's disrespectful. Maybe he wants Arsenal fans to hate him. I don't know. Because from this moment, we had all the respect for him. Even if he's at Chelsea, we still don't hate the guy. It's like, it's whatever. You went to Chelsea. We don't need you. We understand.
Guys, like you and Dats just alluded to, the most stupid thing is you're saying that, but these same players that are yes men, they're sitting top of the league and they're doing better without you. So it just doesn't make sense.
I think it's just dumb. It's just like, come on, bro. Like you
wake up. Yeah. Anyways, people, we're gonna wrap it up here. Big up Dabs for coming on 100 times. Go check out his channel, Never a Foul, as you guys should know, and obviously Alan's channel. Don't forget Time Added On. Abs, you're on TikTok, so you guys can find Abs Busquets on TikTok. You got their account, bro. What's the other account? Ball. What was it?
Pass the ball as well on YouTube as well.
Pass the ball on YouTube.
I was going to say, for the Liverpool fans that need therapy, me and Saint are going live in 10 minutes. So if you want to come over, you can come over.
And a bunch of Fulham and Bournemouth fans to do.
Bro, if you want, you can count me in. I got 10 minutes to spare.
Can't be wrong.
Anyways, big up, guys. Have yourselves a wonderful day, guys. And people, I will be releasing a video talking about the the Jordan Henderson and Gabriel situation. And I'll also be releasing another video talking about this whole situation. So make sure you hit the like button and subscribe button on those videos also. And make sure you go check out my full match reaction and the video that I did on Gabriel's handball earlier today. But yeah, just bare content for you guys to consume. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Peace out.